Today it's the last day of March, so that means that I will show you my completed coloring pages for this month. Without further ado, I will show you quickly what I have. So the first book I was coloring in was Kameshidu Fantastic Zoo. It is a book I bought because I wanted to decorate the baby room, because I will have a son in 6 weeks and I wanted to do something original. So I bought this book and I asked my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my mother, and then myself, of course, to color one of the pictures in this book, because the theme of the children's room will be animals. So the one I did was this one. It's a camel in English, I think. So I colored this one, but I made a copy because it has to be framed on the wall and I don't want to cut in the book itself. So the result is this. So this is the camel I colored, and the colors are inspired by some decorations I already have for the children's room. So yellow, green, red, blue and orange. So this is the one. It's 20 by 20. So it was perfect to copy these images and frame it in this. So this is the first one I did. It was very quickly, I think less than 2 hours. So the pictures I think are very nice for a children's room. So this is the first one. I used for this picture the Stabilo Pen 68 water-based markers for the mandalas, and then the Derwent Color Soft pencils for the orange on the llama, and then soft pastels in the background. So very simple. So that was the first one. The second book I colored was Idi Patisserie by Carla Magana. I did 2 pages in this book. The first one I did was this one. So I used 6 random markers and then 1 extra for the backgrounds. So it's based with alcohol markers. Then I tried to highlight the page with the Moonlight Jerry Roll and some metallic watercolor paint. It was something new I bought, and I thought this is the perfect book to experiment with. So it's a lot of shimmer. So I like this page. And the second page I did in the same book was this one. Again, 6 random markers and 1 extra for the background. I used some alcohol markers, some Jelly Roll Moonlight to highlight, some glitter gel pen and white Posca. So it's also a lot of shimmery bits on this one. I hope the camera picks it up. So it was this one. I like the 6 random markers challenge because it allows you to don't think about which colors you have to pick. So I just make sure that the green isn't next to another part that is green. So that's the only thing I try to avoid, but all the rest is just experimenting, and I try to use my cheap glitter markers for this experiment. So this is the second book I did. Then I colored a PDF. It was by Angela Porter. It is a freebie on her Facebook group, and I saw a lot of coloring book collections of Creative Haven, and I just want to see if her style is something I want to buy, yes or no. So I printed an image to see if I like it. I like the very detailed pages, that this is a little bit too doodly for me, too zen doodly. But I liked the page. I also bought the Stabilo Pen 68. It was a new water-based set I bought. So I wanted to test out the colors, and I think I threw every marker on this page just to test out everything. So this is the one. I'm happy with the result, but it's not a whole book I think I will buy from her. But I like the artwork, but not to color in frequently. So this is the PDF I colored. The next book is Fashion Circus by Carla Magana. I did one in here, and it was the Green Color Palette Challenge on Facebook, on her Facebook group from Carla herself. So for St. Patrick's Day, I think, it was to color everything in green. So I used the alcohol markers. I also used glitter ink. That's something I bought in a local shop. This is glitter ink. This also, so I don't know if you guys can see that. I also used glitter gel pen on these to highlight some of the details on the page. I used some black liners, so I added the frame around the clown and also the stripes, and then some Jelly Roll Moonlight to give it some highlights on the page. So this was also a very quick one. And I liked the fact that you can also use 6 markers, but only greens. So it forces you to be creative with it. So this is the one. Then I did one page in Luna by Maria Troll. This was actually a body color with a twist of color. But I don't know if she already finished her page or not. I haven't heard from her, so if I have a link, I will leave a link to her YouTube channel, and if she does a completed coloring pages video, you can see hers in that video. I used the Van Gogh watercolor paints. It was a set I got from my parents when I was 15, I think. And I saw a video at Color Me Stress Free. She did a page with a watercolor background in a creative Coloring Heaven magazine, Fairytopia. And I just wanted to experiment also a little bit with the watercolors. So that was the background. And then the flowers, the branches, the leaves, and the butterfly and the girl is done with Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer pencils. And then on top I shaded a little bit with the Faber-Castell Polychromos, because I like high contrast pages, and it was a little bit too flat. Then I also used a white and a silver Posca, so it are the little dots in the background, and the silver is on the butterfly here. I don't know if you can see that. Here is some silver. And then I used a black pen to outline the border. There was already a border, but it were 2 separate lines, and I made a black border for that. I really like this page. I think it was in less than 2 hours. It was very quickly, and I used a limited color palette for this one. I think it was from Pinterest, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the one I did in Luna by Maria Troll. The next one I did was in Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. I finished this one. This one took me for ages. It were a lot of bits and bobs on this one. I used the Derwent Colorsoft pencils for the birds and the branches. I used some black pen for some detailing on the birds and the jewelry. I used some soft pastels for the background. And I used some gold glitter glue, actually everywhere. So I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it is full of gold glitter. It is Tonar Stickles, but it is a brand I can buy here in the hobby shop in Belgium. So very shimmery. So I'm very glad with this one. I said it took me for ages. I don't color very often with colored pencils, but I tried to use alcohol markers, then water-based markers, then pencils, then some water-based pencils. So I try to use everything every month. So I don't neglect any of my books and not any of my supplies. So this is the one I did. Then I have a new copy of Fairy Tales by Emily Liedehal-Oberg. It was a book on my wish list and I buy 1 or 2 books every month. So I decided to buy this one. The first one I did was the nameplate page. It was something to experiment which mediums went on this paper and which one doesn't. So first I put a whole base of the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer to see if water works on this page. And the buckling is very minimal. So you can hear it, but very minimal. But it was a little bit too flat, so I went in with the Crayola Super Tips water-based markers to highlight some of the details. And it was a color palette challenge on Instagram from iPanda Colors. I participate every month with that color palette challenge, so I tried this one, so very happy with it. Then I tried a second page. I used the Crayola Super Tips again, some Derwent Color Soft pencils just to give some depth on the flowers, and also some glitter gel pen. So I don't know if you can see it, but there is some glitter gel pen in her dress on the flowers, just some highlights just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then the third one I did was a wallpaper page. Again, I used the Crayola Super Tips, and I also tried to shade with the Super Tips and not with pencils, so it was a real challenge. And I used also some glitter gel pen to highlight some of the details. So this was actually a very easy picture, but it took me very long to finish it. But I'm quite happy with the result. So this is my third page in this book. Then I colored in Johanna Basford, World of Wonders. It's Wereld vol Wonderen in Dutch. And I completely ruined this page, but I wanted to show you guys that not every page has to be perfect. You just had to have fun, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So the double page spread I did was this one. First I just wanted to straight color with some Crayola Super Tips. I started with a limited color palette, so that was all okay. And then I wanted to add background, and then I blew it. So it was a dupe of the Faber-Castell gelatos. It calls Ideeën met Herz. 36 washkrijden. It was a review on Lucy, just adds color on her YouTube page, and I thought I wanted to try out if it is something for me or not. But I think it ruined the page, so it's not that bad, but it's not that great also. And I used some white Posca just to highlight some accents. So for the bottle, for the bubbles, very minimal, but this is one I'm not very proud of, but hey, it's done, it's a process. The water-based markers work very well on this paper, so but the gelatos were not that great. So this is the one I did. And the last picture for this month is in Wereld van Tarot by Alexis A. Thompson. It's a book I really like. I like the illustrations, but for some reason I don't color that often in this book, so I thought I will try a page again. The one I did was this one. I based it with alcohol-based markers for actually everything. Then I used the water-based marker Stabilo Pen 68 for some accents. So I did some shading on the branches, the dots in the flowers. And I used some Derwent Color soft pencils just to highlight the ducks and the flowers and the leaves. It's very, very minimal, but I like the result of it. So this is the one I did in the World of Tarot, the Wereld van Tarot. Okay, so those were the pages I did this month. I hope you liked it. You can always leave me a comment which page you like the most, if you like the combination of very different books, which book you like the most. So anything you want to ask me, just ask me in the comments, and I will see you next month. Bye!